What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 150 of Nintendo Power Block. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
Yay! We made it to 150! Yes!
Also joining us is the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
How's it going?
So, yeah, you're seeing a little bit of a different video today because, Skype sucks. It just sucks. I can't help it. I guess it's gonna go with the new formula that we're doing anyway, so whatever, but I just want to be very vocal about how much Skype sucks. It just sucks. I wish there was an easier way to do this. And I'm sorry to start out episode 150 with such a negative tone, but Skype sucks. It just sucks.
This is just a behind the scenes episode, everybody.
Oh, jeez. No. If they saw behind the scenes, they would have just, no.
That's a different behind the scenes. Trust me.
Oh, man. So, yeah, episode 150. I don't know how we made it this far, but we did it. We did it. It's time to wrap everything up, guys. Good job. We're done? We did it?
No, Corey, we have more Nintendo stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If you say so, Ed. If you say so.
We got another Smash Direct probably happening. Labo VR, which is the oddest thing, but that's all in the future.
I know. Ed, we started doing this in what, 2015?
Yes.
I guess is what that makes this. And then Jesse joined us, and then here we are. We did it. We made a podcast, and yeah, if you're listening on audio feeds, you probably noticed the new thumbnail for the show, so it kind of pops and sticks out a little bit more.
Yes.
So I got real bored one night and designed new stuff for all the podcasts, and now I have to redesign everything because I wasn't thinking correctly. So I put that on my shoulders as well. So good job, me. Go team.
Once again, when you're done with the project, you just out of the blue create another one.
I know.
You can't just leave things alone.
I know. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't. I want us to be the best.
But then
some would say the very best, like no one ever was.
I make you more stressful because I'll get critical on it. Point some things out that need to get changed. You're just like, oh, F it.
I know. Oh, man. When you told me that the Arsenal X1 needed a background, I was like, it has a background. Open your eyes.
And then you look at it just like, you can barely see it.
But then I had this dark overlay over it, and I just took the dark overlay off, and it just made it brighter, and yeah. So, and then Moose started nitpicking the Nerds Gone Platinum one. I'm like, you know what, dude? Jason signed off on it. I'm done. If you want a different thumbnail, you make it.
But yeah, I told Corey that I love this NES retro Mario Brothers 2 kind of. Well, actually no, Mario Brothers 3, because they kind of had like that kind of look within the title. Yeah. But when I seen the colors for Power Block, I was just thinking, man, this is Super Mario Brothers 2 for some reason.
Yeah. So, I went and did that. You can check our Instagram or my Instagram or our Facebook page or whatever. It's there. They're all there. So if you want to check it out, you can. But yeah, that was a project I decided to put on myself last week. So I'm also designing new thumbnails for a lot of Nerds Gone Rogue stuff in general. So I don't know. I'm trying to make everything easier on everybody and kind of trying to consolidate what I'm doing. By doing more, so which seems counterintuitive and ironic, but whatever. You know what? It's fine. Whatever. So, we're not really going to do any housekeeping today because we kind of want to. What we decided to do for episode 150. Actually, we're going to do one little piece of housekeeping before we get in here, but episode 150, we are celebrating the fans who kind of led us along and kind of gave us this platform to talk about video games and Nintendo in general. So 150 is going to be a big turning point for us, I think, as a show. Like we said last week, we're going to kind of consolidate how we do things on PAL Block and Arsenal X. We're not really going to do what we've been doing really in terms of like, here's robotic, what we've been playing, and, news, a list of news items, and then question block. What I kind of want to do is we're going to spend more time. I mean, not that we don't already spend a lot of time on what we've been playing, because we do that. I kind of want to make this a more conversational podcast instead of a news-based podcast. Yes, when something big happens or something in the news is important to talk about, we're going to talk about it, but it's going to be more of a discussion instead of just, oh, Nintendo put out this game today. How do you feel, Ed? Burp, 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 burp. How do you feel, Jesse? Burp, 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 burp. You know what I mean? So we're going to kind of make this more conversational, and we're going to interject questions where we kind of see fit. And then at the end of the show, we're going to either do question block like we have been doing with like 1 or 2 questions, or we're going to have a topic of the show and just kind of discuss things. It's going to kind of reflect more of a Nintendo version of Nerds Gone Rogue proper, almost, where everything is kind of conversational and revolving around questions and conversation points instead of news and topics and stuff. So we're going to use episode 50 as that jumping off point, but episode 150 we're doing all questions. We have about 5 or 6 questions that we kind of want to have a good conversation about, but there's also been a bunch of games that we've all been playing that have come out recently. Plus, I've kind of delved into. I don't know, whatever words. There's a couple games I've been diving back into, and not just Nintendo, but all platforms. And so we kind of want to use maybe the first 20 or 30 minutes to talk about what we've been playing, and then we'll get into those questions. So, I don't know. I don't really know how to start this new wave of podcasting, but I've been playing. I re-downloaded Starlink. It was on sale, the all digital version, and I've been wanting to play that game for a while. And I re-downloaded it, played about the first hour of it again, and man, Ubisoft made a really good Star Fox game. I mean, yeah. I know it's not really a Star Fox game, but they made a really good one, guys.
When it comes to Switch, it's the Star Fox game.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it sold. I think on Switch, it sold 80% more units on Switch than it did the other two consoles combined. So,
yeah,
I mean, let's face it, it's Star Fox, and then they're adding more Star Fox content to it in April. So, I played about the first hour of it. The flying feels really good. The world so far, the world feels kind of empty, but I know I'm just in those beginning missions, and kind of putting my ship back together, I guess is what you would be calling it.
Yeah.
But man, dude, the cutscenes and Fox's animations look so good, man. They look so good. Man, and how they kind of weave the Star Fox stuff into the main story, it feels like really natural. Just it doesn't feel like, hey, we made this game, but Nintendo paid us to put Star Fox content, so we're gonna kind of shoehorn it in here. It feels really natural and a good blend of Star Fox and original content in there, and all the lines that like they're talking directly to Fox, not just a quote unquote generic player. But Starlink is a game. If you own a Switch, like this week, I think the Ubisoft publisher sale is across all platforms right now. But the Switch version of Starlink is, I think it's $25 for the regular edition, and then $40 for the all digital. Like you get all the ships, all the weapons, all that kind of stuff, all the pilots for $40 instead of $80. So I really highly recommend it. And plus, they added a co-op mode, so you can play 2 players on the same screen. With either just the Joy-Cons or 2 Pro controllers or whatever. So it's
$29.99 for the digital edition of Starlink, so it's 50% off.
Okay. I know the all digital version is $40 because I bought it, but yeah, man, when they add the other Star Fox pilots in, it's gonna be a cool co-op Star Fox game, and that's going to be cool. And I think they're adding spaceship races and a lot of other things. And one thing that I kind of notice in this game is that a lot of this technology seems like what they're going to be using in Beyond Good and Evil 2, like flying your ship and leaving one planet to go to another, that kind of thing. Like it kind of feels like that technology is going to be transferable to Beyond Good and Evil 2. So I'm actually kind of hopeful that game might actually make its way to Switch. Starlink is a really, really cool game that I really highly recommend to everybody. So
I've enjoyed what I've played a bit. I haven't gotten into it very much, just because, like, I don't know, lately it's like I'll pick up stuff like little games to play on my Switch, but like for the most part lately it's like I haven't really been diving into the Switch much unless like I'm doing stuff with my kids or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's just lately I've just been kind of trying to just spend more time doing it. If I'm going to do stuff like that, I'm trying to do it with my kids and instead of just going off and doing it. You know, and basketball, like my son's basketball league is done, so like when I would bring him to basketball, I would bring my Switch with, and then I would just play that while he's doing practice and stuff. So like now that that's done, I don't really have that I'm bringing it to or anything either. So I just haven't really been using it that much lately. But
yeah,
did a little bit, but
yeah. I mean, I've been playing a little bit of Switch or a lot of Switch lately because baby just kind of sits there, and you don't want to be like distracted by a big screen. So but I've been playing Starlink. I've been playing Tetris 99 a whole lot. I haven't been doing as well, but it's because I'm trying to figure out this is the first time I've actually looked up strategies for Tetris. I'm looking up how to like take people out and the best ways to do combos and earn badges so I can take more people out, that kind of thing. And I've been doing better at taking people out. I got badges for taking people out. The highest I came in today was 4th, but it's because I was focusing too much on taking people out instead of, actually making lines. So I would accidentally drop pieces in the wrong places while I was trying to take people out, and it just really messed me up. But Tetris 99 is a cool free game if you subscribe to Nintendo Online. So
yes,
yeah. So Tetris 99 is awesome. They released the box art for Fire Emblem today or yesterday also. Yeah,
I seen that. I seen the collector's edition or whatever.
The collector's edition is way better than the original. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is, but it's also sold out.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, here? Yeah. It's been sold out here for like a week and a half.
Oh, I didn't
It's sold out. It's sold out the first day. So I signed up for an Amazon email for if they got any more in, but it's unlikely that they're getting it in.
I didn't even know I didn't even know they was taking pre-orders because of the delay.
Yeah, it's sold out. It's sold out the same day as it was announced. So
I might have to speak to my
they went back
GameStop.
I saw a tweet from Nintendo Everything that they were back up on Best Buy early this morning, but by the time I got there, they were already sold out again. So
we'll see. My Target had a whole bunch of the special editions of the last Fire Emblem.
Oh,
or
really?
Whatever. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of them that just sat there for months and no one would ever buy them.
Yeah, so, ours did it.
No.
Our did that in for Xenoblade Chronicles X. And don't forget, Corey, we pre-ordered ours.
I know we did.
I'm guessing maybe that might happen again. My Target by me might end up having some.
Well, Jesse, if you see them, you message me right away.
All right.
I will PayPal, Venmo, I don't know, what are the kids using these days? I will send you money to go get it for me.
Right.
But yeah,
and
man.
If you don't get it, Jesse, I got y'all. I got both of y'all.
Man, can't pull those Toys R Us strings anymore.
Target's only 5 minutes from me. No one's buying games there, so I'm able to walk in, get the stuff, and be out.
Yeah. So anyways, they showed off the box art, so I actually got back into Wargroove, and
Nice.
they fixed all the issues I had with it. So thank you guys for giving me checkpoints, letting me skip through the enemy turns faster, letting me attack faster, giving me an easier difficulty level. Dude, Wargroove is extremely difficult. So I've been playing that, and what was the other thing on Switch I've been playing? I gotta look this up. Oh, I guess Mario, but that's not it. Oh, Ape Out. I've been playing Ape Out, which is a really cool indie game. I don't really know how I feel about it yet. Like, I like the concept of it, and I enjoy playing it, but I don't know how deep it's really gonna get. You know, after those first couple stages, the mechanics haven't really seemed to change all that much. The enemies just seem to get stronger, I guess. But basically what it is like this really stylized Hotline Miami thing. Oh, Jesse's gone. Oh, well, there he is. Hey, Jesse.
It just like kicked me out.
Oh no!
Oh,
But now at least it's actually letting me do what I wanted to do earlier.
oh, well, maybe Skype fixed itself. Well, now if you're watching the video version, Ed's up top now. So, where was I? Oh, Ape Out. It's this really artistic take on a gorilla escaping in a tall building where you just kind of like fight these guards. Basically, I think the story is you're like a gorilla that's been experimented on a lot, and you break out of your cage and you're trying to escape the building. I guess it's only like a 2-hour game if you beat it, but I guess the last 2 or 3 worlds are like really difficult. So,
okay.
Which I actually thought the first 3 levels were difficult. So, that's me because I'm terrible at games. But Ape Out's really cool. I highly suggest you check out the trailer at least. If you're interested, it's kind of like a remember that game Mr. Shifty that came out like May or June of launch year. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of a little bit, mixed with a little bit of Hotline Miami, with just like this really kind of almost like papercraft art style. Not in the sense of like papercraft is something like Tearaway or Paper Mario or something. Just like the shape. It's like construction paper almost.
Yeah,
like South Park.
No, it's not even. It's not even that. Where like
everything, like every color.
Yeah, everything is like one color. Like the gorilla will be orange, and then the buildings will be blue, and the people are white, and then the glass that you can shatter is a light blue, and then when they shoot you, your blood drips on the ground, and it's kind of like an orangey color actually, but it's really cool, and I highly suggest people check it out because it is cool. For $15, I think it's fun enough for $15. So I think Mr. Shifty is a better $15. But that's just me. So. But that's kind of what I've been playing on Switch. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't really know. Do we want to talk about other platforms now with this new kind of direction? I don't really care. Do you guys care? I was trying to keep this show as structured as Nintendo as possible, but I don't know. People seem to like it when we talk about other games because it pushes them towards other games. So,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because I mean, for me, like I said, I haven't been playing much Switch. I ended up helping my daughter play some what's it called, Paw Patrol for Switch, and that's about all I've played on Switch so far. Well, I mean, I did play some Super Mario U, so I've been enjoying that. But
that game's good.
Yeah, I just need to play some more stuff on my Switch. But honestly, lately I just haven't been this week. I haven't played much of anything. I've just been listening to a lot of Prodigy.
Oh yeah,
with the head singer dying and stuff over the weekend. Last weekend,
Is that the guy with like the green hair? I've been seeing people post pictures about. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Keith Flint.
As as the resident music guy, the resident music guy. That reference got by me somehow. I don't really understand how.
I've never, for some reason I never heard of the band, so I never heard of that's a Prodigy. I don't know if they were like something big on MTV or if they were just like kind of underground.
Well, they were the Smack My Bee Up. Was their popular song back in the day, but and then Firestarter was the one that got really popular. They played those on MTV, but but the thing is it's it was like they started in the early 90s, like doing like electronic, like EDM, like they were doing stuff that like now like Dead Mouse and all that is making has made more popular. They did a lot of that stuff long before any of those existed. So like they're kind of trendsetters in a lot of ways with some of the stuff they did. But theirs is like more drum and bass, like more they mix like a lot of like almost hip hop styles with like a techno. Like that's why like when I make music, a lot of my inspiration comes from them. Like when I make some hip hop beats, they tend to sound almost have like more of like a techno sound to them in some ways. Like instead of your true just authentic like hip hop sound, like like they mix a lot. They do like almost a hip hop and more faster, and like they use a lot of sound effects to make their beats. Like they'll have like glass breaking and just like all these like sound effects they use to make their music. It's really interesting. But yeah, it's like, so yeah, I've just literally been listening to them like nonstop. It's either them or podcasts this whole entire week. Just because I was pretty bummed out and still am, because they were a big inspiration. Like they were like one of the like first bands when I first started getting into music, like a lot, that I would listen to like nonstop. Like their music for the Jilted Generation album was in my CD player for like months on end, like nonstop. But so yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing. Those, like, I've been playing some other stuff, but yeah, that's up to you guys. I don't know. Like I played some stuff on Xbox, but
yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about it this episode, and if people really have feedback about it, they can just email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com or leave a comment on the video or whatever, and let us know like if you think we should stick to just Nintendo games or not. But I think the game I've been playing most this week is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And that the only reason why I kind of want to talk about it this episode is it's really giving me Breath of the Wild vibes. Like it's got so many things that remind me of Breath of the Wild. Like you can climb any surface unless you're in like specific dungeons or temples or whatever. Like if you're solving a puzzle there, they actually have like a specific path they want you to follow. But when you're out in the world, you can pretty much climb any surface without having to worry about, oh, there's the obvious brick that's sticking out of the wall, I guess I gotta go that way. I really like the combat. I loved Origins in 2017, and my only complaint was that Bayek kind of felt too sluggish and a little slow, and they seem to have sped up the combat and the movement and stuff in this game, which I really love. They added transmogging, which is, for Diablo fans, if you find a piece of gear that has better stats, you can equip it and then make that gear look like something else to make yourself look cooler, but still have the status of the other armor. So they added that this time around, which is really cool. The combat just feels really good, man. It's one of those games where, like, honestly, I'm 12 hours in and I really have no idea what's going on right now in the story because I've been doing so many side quests. Like I was talking to Ed, I've been playing 12 and a half hours and I'm still in the second area.
Is the setting like much more vast than Origins was?
It's ancient Greece, so right now I'm in like a port town, but there's also a mountain town or a mountain region and a bunch of little islands. It actually has a lot of Black Flag in it. There's a lot of sailing. There's a lot of little islands you can go visit and kind of take over, and you can recruit new people to come to your ship, and they will kind of give you resources and kind of flesh out your crew a little bit. Although for being part of the Club Ubisoft or whatever, their online thing, I actually have Aya from Origins as my lieutenant, which doesn't make sense because this game takes place 250 years before Origins. But I mean, there's a lot of suspension of disbelief. They basically give you a superhero Spartan, and you're just going around murdering everybody. I unlocked the infamous kick from 300.
Yeah,
where they kick the guy down in the well. I unlocked that. I unlocked this move called Bull Rush, where if you have like your two daggers out, you kind of like dash through somebody and like cut them in half.
Okay.
I mean, they don't always die, but if they're low on health, they're dead.
Yeah.
Also, what they did really well is they really fleshed out the stealth stuff from Origins, where like, you know how you could like hide in the grass and like they could, you could whistle and they would come over and you would just like assassinate them.
Yeah.
Well, if you stay hidden, if you assassinate them, the other enemies won't see you, so you can like stealth kill like 10 people in a row, and there's actually an achievement for that. If you kill 10 people in a row without being seen or being hit or whatever, you get an achievement. And I was like, yeah, that was cool. So I really like it. If you have an Xbox or a PlayStation, or I guess PC too, who's playing PC games? Come on. I really recommend this game, and I actually I wasn't gonna get the season pass because I know this game's really long anyway, but it was super cheap this weekend, and I could not pass it up. It's there's a 3-chapter arc called The Legacy of the Hidden Blade, which is kind of the origins of the wrist thing. Which the whole story in Odyssey, I should say, revolves around King Leonidas, the guy from 300, Gerard Butler's character from 300, for those who don't know. His spear, and I think the legacy of the first blade is actually they make the first blade out of his spear. So I'm not 100% sure. Don't take that as a spoiler or anything, but the way the story's going right now, that's where I think it's headed. So, and then there's another 3-part arc coming out this fall, revolving around Atlantis. And then you also get Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered and Liberation for free in the season pass.
Nice.
So, and they redid all the combat and the climbing and everything to make it feel more like Origins and Odyssey. I don't know how that first 6 hours is going to go because that was like the worst part of the game. But we'll see. If the combat feels good and the movement feels good, then I will definitely play 3. I don't think 3 was as bad as a lot of people said it was, but that's just me. And I actually really like that Connor statue where he's holding the tomahawk and the American flag behind him is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's actually... I don't have it here. It's actually in storage, but it's cool. It's a cool one. So, and like my first thought was like, why is it 3? Why isn't it Black Flag? Then I remembered that Black Flag actually came out on PS4. We're just that many Assassin's Creeds ahead on this console generation.
Right.
Yeah.
But Odyssey is really good. Odyssey is really good. So, I've also been playing some Apex Legends and Destiny also, but I'll save that because we need to talk about stuff on Arsenal X, which I'll still talk about Odyssey on Arsenal X too. But that's kind of what I've been playing. I actually played a lot this week, which makes me somewhat happy. I don't know if that makes me a bad parent or not, but Played a lot. So, Jesse, I know you said you haven't been playing a lot, but have you been playing anything?
Yeah, I've kind of trying to go back to Ashen. I had my last, what is it? Yeah, Sunday last weekend. My friend Ben came over, which was a pleasant surprise. He just kind of, asked if he could drop by or whatever, and so we hung out for a little bit. And I was just we were kind of talking and just kind of bringing up some of the games that are like on Game Pass and stuff like that, because he doesn't have an Xbox, but he does have a gaming PC. So I wanted to show him some stuff that he would be, possibly be interested in getting on PC. So I pulled up I played a little of the Year Zero or whatever.
A Mutant Year Zero.
Mutant Year Zero. And showed him a little bit of that and played that a little bit. And then, I've been trying, though, to go back to Ashen, which, like you mentioning with Assassin's Creed and, it being, kind of giving you...
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild vibes. I kind of really wish that they would have had that whole climbing thing in this as well, and they could have, because they already have that the whole stamina bar thing, because it's kind of supposed to be like the Dark Souls games and stuff. Yeah. So they already have that system in place of the stamina bar. They could have did the whole thing like Breath of the Wild did, where they have you could climb any wall, but it would use up your stamina. And they totally could have tried to do something like that with it, and I think it would have been a nice touch if they would have added that. But it's still a really good game. It's still, even though it doesn't have that, it still is a really good game once you get used to the controls, because the controls are a little different than what I'm used to, with games like that. You got to push the right joystick in to lock onto a character before you can start attacking them and stuff like that. So there's certain things about it that are a little different, but I do love that game, and anytime I go back into it, I end up just wanting to play it for hours. Even I didn't have the time to do it, but I did sit down and play for a little while today. And I think that that and I recorded the
Metro Exodus.
Metro Exodus, Arsenal X Plays, and so I've been kind of playing that a little bit here and there as well. I haven't gotten too much further than what I recorded, but I'm really liking that game. It's the graphics and how everything looks is really amazing, but I feel the shooting and all that stuff and all the mechanics work pretty well. At times, the only thing that I don't like about it is, I don't like that, they don't really have any kind of thing on your screen that's telling you where something is or which direction you need to go to do whatever it is for the mission that you're on. That's kind of a downfall, because you can kind of find yourself trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. To continue what you're supposed to be doing in that area. That's kind of a bummer, but it's at the same time, it's not awful. It's not like a game breaking thing, but it just would be kind of better if they had that. I think it's it kind of almost makes it so the experience doesn't feel like you're playing a game, more so that you're just in that area. There's not a whole bunch of things all around your screen, telling you which direction to go, and it just lets you see just the screen for the most part,
Yeah.
So, but it's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I need to get into it more though, but like I said, this week just hasn't been a good week to really try to put some good gaming in. So,
yeah, family and life stuff gets in the way. I guess it doesn't get in the way. I guess families are important, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ed, what about you? What are all the things that you've been dabbling into?
Okay, so
all right, we're gonna move on to I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Ed. You can continue.
So I finished Anthem, and which is weird because the other two hosts right here. Well, I understand why Corey couldn't have finished Anthem, and Jesse, I thought you would finish Anthem before me, but
I played it. I did play it a little bit. I forgot to mention that, but
I just Oh, by the way, that's why I haven't really been playing a lot of Xbox stuff. Is because like my Xbox has decided to only connect to the internet whenever it feels like it, not just constantly whatever. So I looked it up. I guess it's not a common occurrence in X's, but it is more of an occurrence in an Xbox One X than it is the other
consoles.
Yeah. So I think I might have to send it in. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
So after all the bugs and crashes and bugs as in I got to a part of a level and they wouldn't give out the next objective. So it would just loop what I'm still doing. And that happened like twice and stuff. And doing all the hunting and all that stuff. I gotta say that this is a game that I think is not going to make Game of the Year. A lot of people Game of the Year list. I will nominate it for some of the best gameplay. With the guns and stuff. Like shooting and moving around and dashing. The flying is really good. It feels great. But I think there is times that
you didn't seem convinced by that, Ed. Your face was like
only reason why
you like that complicated control scheme of Daemon X Machina.
Well, the flying is easy.
Which to be fair, you're not the only one that prefers Daemon X Machina's flying over Anthem's, which is weird because we were talking about that a couple weeks ago on NGR, where Matt and Moose actually really liked the flying in Daemon X Machina, and I was like, man, that actually surprises me quite a bit. But sorry, I just wanted to.
Did you mention that I liked it?
Yeah, I was like, man, you guys are with Ed on that one. I am not with you there, but.
Well, this I think this is the problem with the flying with Anthem. Not saying this bad. There's nothing wrong. I want to see BioWare still. There's a lot of games who have this mechanic need to study BioWare, need to study Anthem on how to get it right, how to get it pitch perfect. I think the problem is that because the loading is weird in this game. Like, let's say me, you, and Jesse and Moose was playing. It might load you, Corey, up, and then Jesse, and then Moose, and me last. All the information that's being talked about, you guys are getting. So then you're blasting off, and you're halfway past me, and then the game decides it wants to load me. And so, trying to catch up with you guys, the flying doesn't get improved. I've been trying. I literally been putting the highest stuff that I get from every hunt. Every time I go into the free world, they'll reward me with stuff. I would get the materials to craft, and I will up my stuff and everything, and I'm still flying at the same speed. And it's still kind of overheating. So it's just like I really wish that everybody could fly at the same time in a sense. Mm-hmm. And it might also depend on what character you're playing, because I think if you're flying with Storm, you fly faster than you will with the Ranger, because I played the full game with the Ranger.
Mm-hmm. I think that's something too that Destiny does better. Like, I think they should have more of like an actual loading. Like, if they're gonna make you play with other people, then they should actually load you into a game that doesn't start until all 4 people are there.
Right.
To make it so the experience isn't broken up like that. Like at
Right.
least that's something that Destiny did. I
Yeah.
feel like, didn't it?
Cause yeah, it does. Cause you miss story parts, and wherever you at, if they're further than you, it does the transporting thing.
Yeah.
So it was just like, cause even one of the hosts on Game Informer was having this problem, and they may have fixed it or anything, but I was just like, if I can't upgrade my flying and it shows, it's gonna be it's kind of a problem. But like actually being in the air, jumping off and breaking off and stuff, that feels good. I just don't think this game is gonna be. The game is good. I still say wait for a patch. I know they got the new update patch, and I need to update it to see it. But yeah, I beat the game. It was fun, but I can't say I think I have more fun in Crackdown 3 than Anthem. And I think Anthem should have came out in May and let Crackdown 3 have February, because there's just something about this that still feels unpolished. And I think as they're patching along and stuff, it's getting better and better. But I think people are going to wait for, I would say maybe September, for the whole everything to be upgraded and ready to go, and we'll see what the new story content is. But yeah, I'm now working on Devil May Cry 5 on Xbox One for a review. And enjoyed a little bit of what I played with that. I think I still prefer DMC. For some reason, I think the combat in DMC is better, and this game still needs a turbo mode. It just does not feel fast to me for some unknown reason. But that's what I'm doing for Xbox, PlayStation 4. I brought Prey. I brought Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, the first one, so I'm playing through that. Jumping in back into Final Fantasy 12 and Secret of Mana. I think I'm gonna finish those games and like get whatever awards and then move on and stuff from that. But for Switch, I have been playing Harvest Moon, Light of Hope, and I am laughing. If you guys are on our Nintendo Power Block fan page, you guys will see the captions that I've made. These characters and their artwork and the way that they look, I'm like, oh wow. The main character, the way that she runs feels like it's Sting Greenlight Gay, and it's so funny. But I was telling Corey that this is hyping me up for Animal Crossing. And I'm looking for, because I'm actually planning and stuff, and for I still gotta play more Stardew Valley on Xbox One, but I think this game Harvest Moon is just better than Stardew Valley for some unknown reason. But I'm definitely enjoying this game. Also picked up Ape Out, so I'm gonna start playing more of that, trying to learn it. I am gonna jump back into War Groove. Played a little bit of Ikaruga, about to jump back into Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Final Fantasy 9. Really can't wait to get back to Final Fantasy 9. I really want to get through that whole game just straight.
I was planning on starting Final Fantasy 9, but I started playing Assassin's Creed again, and like I'm hooked. Like I'll get there eventually. I don't know, man. It's just man, that game.
Yeah, I even actually bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey also on PS4. It's like $20. I got the standard edition, so can't wait to play that. I was seeing some stuff on Xbox One that I'm looking forward to. Some of the Neo Geo stuff that I need to get ready to grab. Picked up Transistor on Switch. I've never played it. I didn't play it on PlayStation 4. Or PlayStation 3 when it originally came out. Because I played Bastion, but I didn't, which I need to finish. But I never played Transistor, so I'm excited to actually play this game. Played a little bit.
The thing about Transistor is like it's not as good as Bastion, but like not in the way you think it wouldn't be as good. It's just like to me, it's like Knights of the Republic 2 syndrome, where like it's got really cool combat and it's got really cool systems in play, but the game's not long enough to have you fully take advantage of everything that it has to offer, you know? And so that's, I mean, Transistor is a fantastic game. I think everybody should play it, but like just that the fact that it's not long enough to take advantage of all the systems that you can play with and that kind of thing, like that to me kind of hurts the game. And that sucks because I think that game deserves a lot of praise because it's really good. So
yeah, I picked up Daggerhood. I'm at odds with that game, and me and Jason are probably going to talk about that one day. But I'm very odd with this game, and I think it's because of the wall jumping. I'm not liking it at all, and I'm just like, this is giving me Strider for NES vibes, and I hate Strider on NES. I
took one look at Daggerhood, and I was like, pass. I mean, not that it's just like those types of games just aren't for me. You know what I mean? Like they just It's not that it looked like a bad game or anything. I could just tell. It's like it's the same thing as like what was a recent game that came out?
The Messenger.
No, because I actually really liked what I played of The Messenger. I just haven't. Yeah. I just, last year was just a big non-gaming year for me. But man, I wish I could remember what it was.
I still gotta finish The Messenger.
But it's like all the games that look really cool, but then they're like it's a roguelike. I can't. There's certain games that I know just aren't for me. The only exception to that rule would be Dead Cells, right? Where Dead Cells is just awesome. It just felt good enough to play and everything, but like I can't do roguelikes. That's the one thing, and like
and don't get me wrong, I don't hate Daggerhood because I need to play more. I think it's just that wall jumping mechanic that infuriates me, or that just makes me like, this is some questionable content when it comes to that. I will say that for $4 and some change, it was a good buy for me. Played a little bit of Solomon's Key that was on NES.
Why are you playing Solomon's Key?
I heard people say what that game was about, and I played it, and I was just like, I'm not going to touch this at all. Thank you for the offer. I'm not going to play this. This game feels terrible, just all around terrible, and I'm just like, no. I had to cleanse my palate and play more Super Mario Brothers 2, of course. Look, I would play Legend of Zelda: Link 2 over Solomon's Key. That's big. That's major. I did pick up Modern Warfare for PSN. That was free, and I also got the Hitman episodes for the first season, Jesse. So I think all 5 of them were free for last month.
I think the title of this episode is going to be Ed's shopping list.
So, dude, check on Nintendo Power Block on what I put with the character. You would see a good photo from Harvest Moon. I'm gonna just say that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Getting ready for the Division 2 this week, and then it's pretty much a Switch galore. I think the next game for any other system is going to be Days Gone, but everything else is pretty much Switch for the for the rest of the year, I should say spring or summer.
I mean, if I gotta get my Xbox fixed, I have to wait on the Division, because like I'm not gonna spend my money on it if I have to wait, if I can't play it right away, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and Sekiro is what I'm doing this month also at the end, but after Sekiro, it's literally Yoshi's Crafted World and then whatever else is coming out.
I think
because Final Fantasy 7 is this week.
Yeah, nobody cares about Final Fantasy 7.
I'm going to take a sandwich away from you.
I don't care.
And give you a salad.
Worth it.
I'll throw some grilled chicken in it. and then put blue cheese on it.
Oh no, gross.
Yes, blue
Gross.
cheese.
No.
Yes.
No, get out of here with that. Get out of here. Yeah, I mean,
Smother and cover it.
the only thing that, like, the only other game I think, I mean, Days Gone looks cool, but it's not like something I'm super looking forward to. The only other game besides Switch games this year, I think, that I'm like super excited for is Gears 5, and
Yeah.
you know, the way we've kind of been playing Gears 4, it kind of makes me question that a little bit because
Yeah.
man, Gears 4
I
feels
hope it's better.
Gears 4 feels really ancient. You know, I mean, I loved playing Gears 4, but like after playing The Division and some other third-person shooters, like more recent third-person shooters, it's just like, man, Gears feels really slow and unintuitive and just, you know what I mean? I like Gears. Don't get me wrong, I love Gears.
It has a different groove.
I know it does, but like you play, like, I think The Division is like the most direct comparison right now to Gears in terms of gameplay, not in terms of like mechanics or RPG, whatever, just in terms of cover-based shooting. Man, The Division feels so much better.
I think one of my issues that I'm having with Gears is I wish that they would improve the shooting mechanics, or like make it where like all the weapons feel useful instead of just two, and then stop with all the like action like button type stuff. Like I don't like you know, like the chainsaw battles and all that were cool. You know, at some point it was cool when it first came out, and like, but I just don't like, I don't like that it's something that the enemies can just randomly do to you, and all of a sudden next thing you know you're dead. Like, it's fine if they would have made it your melee attack, but it's just dumb when you're like in a corner shooting at someone and all of a sudden one of the other guys comes out behind you, hits you, and then next thing you know you're getting cut in half, and it's like, what the hell, you know?
And I know we're about to get into the next session. I think Gears needs an Insomniac kind of design with their guns. You know, Insomniac guns, if you look at Resistance 1 to 3, I always go back to Resistance and even Ratchet & Clank. Their guns are creative and innovative, and sometimes what you don't think is worth it, if you stay with it and let it evolve.
Well, it's not that their weapons are innovative. They just, the new ones that they added for Gears 4 just don't work. Like, they tried, like, don't get me wrong, they tried with like the saw blade gun and the driller, which, you know, digs underground and pops up and blows up, and then you have that laser kind of explosive thing where, like, you know, the laser tracker thing. Like, they're all cool weapons, they just don't work well when the game is that slow, or, you know, that. And also, like, the game also feels ancient in terms of like pacing, where, like, you know, we would go through and okay, we're going down this hallway, oh, these walls are chest high, this is obviously going to be an arena cover-based battle, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, these guys are up there. Oh, there's a sniper rifle over there. I guess we have to snipe these guys, right? And, like, it's just very kind of, I don't want to say, it's just very archaically designed, and I get that this was the Coalition's first crack at, you know, a new game, and I really give them credit for it, but, like, you look at something like what 343 did with Halo 4, and it's just like, coming off of Bungie's design, like, Halo 4 was an amazing game from a new team taking over a franchise with parts, like, don't get me wrong, a lot of 343 was split from Bungie, but the Coalition is a lot of that old Gears team too, with Rod Ferguson being the executive producer. Like, like, he is, Gears has been his baby since Gears 1, right, with Cliff. So, like, I mean, it feels like Gears, it looks like Gears, it feels like Gears. It needs to feel less like Gears in 2019. Is all I'm saying.
And I think for some people, if they
welcome to Arsenal X, everybody.
The Coalition, because we're about to get into this.
I know.
If the Coalition sticks to what they know about Gears and stuff, I think that's where Anthem beats them, because Anthem open arena stuff, because there's no really cover based stuff. It's so fast moving, flying around and shooting in different directions and stuff that you just make your own strategies up on the spot. And
I mean, even
your one strategy is just hide behind something, pop up and shoot. And
I mean, even stuff like Fortnite and PUBG feel better in terms of movement and shooting and stuff now than Gears. And like, I know like the button layout for PUBG is not exactly great, but the basic, hiding and shooting feels better than something like Gears. And and maybe we'll talk about this more in Arsenal X. I'll wrap it up here, but I hope they take some notes from other games that have come out since then, like The Division or Fortnite or something, just in terms of how fluid and how simple the characters move around and stuff. And you don't need the roadie run to run fast. You don't need, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff just feels archaic. I just hope they kind of do some things with it. But all right,
to be continued. Yeah, because I got something more to say about this that I.
Yeah,
and so if you want to hear,
we'll talk about it.
Conversation.
We'll have it on RCX.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into the main meat of this episode. Question block. Remember, you can email us at nintendopadblock@gmail.com to have your questions read, or comment below the current episode, or tweet at us at Nintendo_pblock. However you send us a question, we will try to answer it. We have 5 questions here, which is good. I was afraid we weren't going to have enough for this episode, but we clearly made our own content out of this.
Thank you to all the fans who sent stuff in. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and I was kind of late getting out the tweet and the Facebook messages and stuff for questions and everything, so I apologize for that. But for those of you who have maybe not written in but have listened for a while, and when you type in Nintendo Podcasts on iTunes, we're at the bottom of that list, but we're there sometimes. So I want to thank everybody for downloading the show every week and putting up with our dumb whatever and that kind of stuff. So yes. Thanks everybody for making Nintendo Power Block something that was a segment on a different channel and a different network into something that a podcast that I think we're all kind of proud to do every week. So. We're going to get into these questions here, though. Deshaun Malone, a longtime fan, writes in, what are your 5 most anticipated games of 2019? Do you expect more games for 2019 to be announced in the coming directs? So,
how did we answer this question so many times?
I know, but it's an important question.
Okay. And
I would feel bad if we didn't answer Deshaun's question, because he literally writes into all the shows every week.
Yes. We love you, Deshaun.
Also, what is this thing on Twitter with Deshaun? Every time he talks to me or Matt or Moose, he does one of these things because he thinks it's what white people do. But then when he talks to Ed, he goes like this. I'm like, man.
Because you guys don't represent Black power.
I know. I'm the blackest person Ed.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I might give that actually to Matt.
I'm just kidding. Why? Because he likes Wu-Tang? I'm just kidding.
I think so. To be honest with you. Being Matthew Q more here.
So, I mean, man, most anticipated games this year. I think mine are easy, but I mean, my most anticipated game this year is Fire Emblem. Obviously, Fire Emblem's going to be amazing. I'm trying not to play as many strategy games, so like that strategy game hunger is there when that game comes out. But like Wargroove is too good and Valkyria Chronicles is too good to stop playing.
I know.
I can't stop playing those games. So
well, okay. So I'm going to actually go from what you guys already know with go with the newest direct. Definitely Super Mario Maker 2. Astro Chain is what I'm looking for. The new Square Enix game, Oni Kanawa, I'm definitely looking for. I mentioned earlier, Animal Crossing, because playing Harvest Moon just hooked me on that, and definitely Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm definitely looking forward to that game coming out.
You forgot your most anticipated game, Ed.
Well, I said because of the new Nintendo Direct. Everybody know Daemon X Machina and Luigi's Mansion and all of that other stuff. We all know that. But just those games coming that we know of, and not like Corey said, not to Fire Emblem stuff. But I said that like with Daemon X Machina and stuff like that. So, but those are the games that I'm definitely am looking forward to as my most anticipated games. Bayonetta 3, of course, but it's still up in the air where these games are going to be at in the month, and I'm super excited and really can't wait for things to be announced. And hopefully, and maybe at E3, we will see that new Octopath Traveler, because Square Enix said that they are working on it, and I'm not talking about the mobile game. That's a pre.
Well, they did say it was still a ways out because they've been working on this mobile game, I guess. So,
but they did announce.
No, you know what? You know what I think we're going to see from E3 actually is the new Bravely Default game, because I think they're working on one, or like Bravely Default HD or something.
And also,
oh my gosh, dude, that first game. If they made that first game for Switch,
yeah, and
I'm actually.
Oh, go ahead, Corey. I mean, Jesse.
I was just gonna say, and I'm kind of actually excited to see the I know I joked about it a little bit, but the VR Labo, I'm kind of interested in seeing what that's gonna be.
I told you that was coming last year when they announced Labo. I'm like, okay, I know they don't want to do VR, but what do you bet that a Google Cardboard style VR unit for Switch would be perfect, because they don't have to spend a lot of money on it, and they have the removable Joy-Cons with the motion controls, and they have the screen that can just slide into a cardboard thing that you slap on your face. I
like that long camera run. I was just like, this is that Pokemon Snap realness right there, dude. Like, literally.
I just want to say, I called Labo Cardboard, like, I think before even Labo was announced. So,
well, and to be fair, like the VR for it existed almost the second Switch came out.
Yeah,
it just wasn't
official.
Official.
Well, I know what your most anticipated thing.
The tank.
Jesse.
What?
Your most anticipated is Game Pass.
Yeah. No, actually, it's Turok.
Sorry.
Oh, with
oh yeah, dude. Is that comes out what, next week?
Yeah, I think so. The 18th.
Forget the Division 2. I'm playing Turok next weekend.
But it's okay.
Comes out the 18th.
I'm confused. It's Turok 1 for the N64, but someone said that it's both games, 1 and 2.
Well, Turok 2 hasn't officially been announced, but this is the Turok 1 remaster that came out on Xbox like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Remember when they released that weird remaster a couple years ago?
Okay, so you can just switch between. Is it like where you can switch between the
graphics? It's just they're just high res N64 graphics. They're nothing special. It's like, did you remember the Banjo-Kazooie ports on Rare Replay? That's basically what it is. It's basically just that, but Turok. So yeah, have fun with those platforming puzzles. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's 1999, so I'll be buying it.
And then I guess
like Doom and Duke Nukem or Doom and Wolfenstein, all those.
Oh, Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh yeah,
Duke Nukem Forever had some jumping puzzles that were terrible. Remember, by the way, when Randy Pitchford compared Duke Nukem Forever to Half-Life in an interview?
What was he smoking?
Well, let's be fair. Both games are mediocre at best.
I know, true, but
I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I don't care. Half-Life is not a good game. I don't care what people say.
It was good for the time, but it just doesn't hold up.
Not good for the time. Yeah. It sucked.
Well, their physics, they brought like amazing physics to the game world, though.
I'm just kidding.
You gotta go with that. But,
I'm sure.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm sure when Half-Life and Half-Life 2 came out, it blew people's minds. But
yeah.
The
PC doesn't hold up.
I've just learned through the last few years that I just don't really care about Valve games, like, at all.
They make some decent games.
I just like Portal. I hated Portal. I struggled through 3 hours of that game.
I love those games.
And then, I was gonna do Portal 1 and Portal 2 for something that we were working on, and I was like, no, not doing it.
Unfortunately, like, I know you didn't like Portal 1, but Portal 2 is so much better just because the actual humor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes it so much better of a game to play. Like, where if you don't care for the mechanics that much, you can at least look past it because the humor is much more constant and there's more story to it than the first one.
Well, the first game I played,
the dialogue in Dry Wit is so spot on.
Well,
yeah, seriously.
The way I record everything, like, I can't have the sound on, and I don't know how to change that. So, like, everything we've ever recorded, I don't have the sound on.
Yeah, but Jesse, what is your 5? I'm sorry.
Oh, my 5. I don't know. Like, the thing is like all the games you mentioned. Like, I'm surprisingly though, like, you know, like, I know I haven't really been that interested in Fire Emblem, you know, ever in the past. But, like, honestly, this one, like, seriously is interesting to me, and it's just unusual because, like I said, I have really, up until now, I have not cared about Fire Emblem. But the new one really looks interesting, though, to me.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like it's like Harry Potter, but Japanese Harry Potter. Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. Oh, Harry Potter! What a great lovable cast of characters those are.
So that's probably my number 5 though, because. But
can we have a Harry Potter cast? Can we just call it Pottercast?
Harry Potter must not return to Hogwarts.
I'll just paste a whole bunch of question marks and trash cans, and
you know what? My wife will do it with me. It's fine. I don't need you, Ed.
I'll do it. I'll do it with you.
Yes. Can we all talk in British accents too?
Welcome to the Harry Potter podcast.
See, Jesse got a thick accent, so I think I probably will come up to Wisconsin and be like, "What are you doing? Let me take you to the pizza spot and let's talk this over with, because you can't be doing that." But Corey, what's our next question?
Well, I didn't say my top 5.
I thought you did. Oh,
I just said Fire Emblem.
Oh,
it doesn't take up all 5 spots. Ed just doesn't care that I want to talk. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and all I've said is Fire Emblem. Basically, I mean, and then obviously like
Stein and Doom.
Oh yeah, I forgot those are coming this year too.
Yeah, those. Well, isn't Wolfenstein 2 out already?
The Wolfenstein 2 is the Youngbloods standalone expansion.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I wish they would put the first 2 games on.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if that would be cool if they put those in the classic, in the classic section. But yeah, I don't know. They're like the Yoshi and all those. Obviously, I'm like super excited for, and to finally play a Mario Maker, because I haven't really gotten to play it yet. I played it for like a couple of seconds. But
can't wait for that series of episodes of where we make each other Mario Maker levels, and then we just record ourselves playing each other's levels and hating our lives forever.
Why do I feel like I'm going to be the one that's going to get the most craziest levels and be the one to beat them?
Because you got to be creative, Ed. If you want us to lose, you got to be creative.
I am going to be creative. Oh, trust me.
All you gotta do for me is just make it where it's just those little tiny platforms that you gotta land on. I suck at that, getting those really precise landings on those really small.
Man, for me, I think my top 5 would be Fire Emblem number 1, obviously, Luigi's Mansion, Link's Awakening, of course, and then I'm just gonna group Doom and Wolfenstein together because like those to me just kind of go together. By the way, man, I was playing Doom the other day. Man, what a good game.
I need to load it back up on my Switch.
They keep releasing like stability patches on the Switch version, and I'm like, there's a new patch out. I should jump in and try to play it. It's really good.
I want to play I'm doing easy on Switch because I already beat the game on L1, but I want to do it easy on Switch so I could get everything.
Well, I only play games on easy, so yeah. And number 5, I think, is Mario Maker 2 looks really good, but I don't know if I'm like if
Mario
that's like
Maker,
an anticipation game for me.
No,
it's just like something I think, I think all three of us, plus like I know Matt's super into Mario Maker, and Todd of Secret Friends Unite is super into Mario Maker. Like I think that's something that as a community we can all kind of come together and make each other's levels and share them in the Facebook group and that kind of thing. Like I think that's going to be a cool group type game for us.
Mm-hmm. But for you, Corey, it would definitely be what, like Link's Awakening.
I said Link's Awakening.
I didn't hear you say it.
Thanks for listening, Ed. I'm really glad you're listening to me.
Because I thought you would say Luigi's Mansion 3 also.
I feel like my wife when she's talking to me. Why aren't you listening to me? I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I'm really interested in the new Pokemon game too.
Yeah, me too.
But like I don't know if I'm like really anticipating it because like I like playing the Pokemon games, and then I've realized I'm like, I don't have time for all this, and then they just keep adding more, and I'm like, this is gonna drive me insane.
Well, and I think I'm kind of bummed that it's not gonna have the whole like where the Pokemon are visible on the screen like they did. With
random battles are back.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of random battles ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of sucks that they introduced that mechanic and Let's Go, and then they're just taking it away. Especially because, like, if you're looking for that certain one, you just have to, like, hope that when the screen blinks away, you are fighting that one.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool Switch games coming out this year. I'm really excited. I know I'm really actually anticipating Final Fantasy 12. I know it's out on pretty much everything else already, but I am really anticipating that game. I love that game to death. It was like the last kind of major game I think I played on PS2, and I haven't played it since. So we'll see. But I'm actually kind of holding out hope that Square will finally put Kingdom Hearts on Switch. Like the collection. I don't really necessarily need 3, but the collection at least.
I'll probably get Unraveled 2 on Switch too. I think that's a game that I've been wanting to get, but then more recently when we found out that it would be coming to Switch, I kind of want to get that.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to our next question here since we are like actually running really long on time. I did not anticipate this episode to be this long. Megan Green writes in and says, with Link's Awakening getting a beautiful remake this fall, do you see any other Game Boy or NES games getting some sort of remake in the same way? And also, what game would you personally want to see remade? Congrats on 150. Been following since number 1. So, that's a long time. I'm sorry that you listened to us for 150 episodes.
Thank you.
Let's see. Game I would want remade. I have no idea, man. I think like a lot of Nintendo games are kind of like good the way they are, you know. I don't know if I would ever want anything like. I don't think I would ever want something like Super Mario World or 3 or 2 remade. You know what I mean? Like,
What
guess,
about 6 golden coins though?
That's
I would like a 6 golden coins remade.
Super Mario Land and Land 2.
Would you want that remade, or would you just want that to be like kind of
remade? Because those games offer something different the mainline series never did. There's no sub in Mario Brothers in the Mario games that's an auto level, you know.
It almost, like in my opinion, like the Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins almost was like mixing Mario with Kirby for me, like in a way.
And the sound and the music for those games are good. Definitely golden coin. those that music is like terrific. I think the Ninja Turtle game, Fall of the Foot Clan, I think that's the name of it.
Oh, jeez.
For Game Boy, I would kind of want that as a Konami Rebirth game.
No, they've already tried to remake a Turtles game, and you know what happened to it?
That depends on who you're talking about who tried to remake it.
It was hot trash. So that Turtles in Time reshelled for 360 and PS3.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
The reshell cycle.
boy, that was the worst $10 I ever spent. That game was cheap too, man. I was like all excited. I'm like, yeah, Turtles in Time, sweet. Nope. Sorry.
We got Metroid with Samus Returns.
Put that on Switch.
I think we got some Mega Man games. I think, but I'm not sure.
You know what is ridiculous? You know we haven't had an HD Metroid game yet? This just reminds me of like N64 when you saw Samus in Smash for the first time. You're like, we're going to get a 3D Metroid. Then we never got one on N64. That's what this feels like.
Yeah, I can agree.
N64 all over again. Man.
I think. Well, no, the Square said they were doing the Final Fantasy Legends, that like Secret of Mana thing. They said they were reworking that, trying to get that on Switch. I remember there was one of them that was like it was a cherry or a tomato with glasses, and it was like a puzzle game almost. And I cannot think of it.
You know what I want them on a remake of? Marble Madness. Let's get that Marble Madness.
It was on
Switch.
360.
Let's get that Marble Madness with the gyro just to tilt the table. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Well, the one on 360 was pretty cool. I loved that game.
I remember
they just ported that and made a newer one.
I remember playing that. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, Corey.
Oh, I was just gonna say I remember playing Marble Madness at my grandma's house, and I was like, "This is amazing."
I
was playing that instead of like good games like Zelda and Metroid and Kid Icarus. I was playing Marble Madness.
Legend of the Mystical Ninja, Dragon Warrior, or Dragon Quest, because one of the Dragon Quest games did come to Game Boy, and I think that needs to be remade and put on Switch, because I own it somewhere.
I wouldn't honestly even mind a new Donkey Kong, like the original ones. Like actually make like a really cool, updated style, like or the same kind, but have it like just like bigger levels.
Or like just like make a really high res version of Donkey Kong 94 with all those levels in it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just like because like going like back like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And there's always Paperboy Kid Icarus.
Oh man, dude, Kid Icarus. By the way, I want a new Kid Icarus at some point. But we're gonna move on to the next question. Kyle Schumacher writes in and says, "What are your top 10 Switch games right now? I just bought a Switch and am looking for suggestions. I only have Mario Kart and Mario Tennis. My partner and I like to play together." Well, my
Switch.
my top 10 right now. I actually made this list after I read the question. Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 1. Shovel Knight, number 2. Mario Kart 8, number 3, although you already have it. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Mario Odyssey, Wargroove, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Valkyria Chronicles 4, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay. Tetris 99, Ikaruga.
Tetris 99, I forgot about
Gris, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Super Mario Odyssey, ARMS, Messenger, Yoko's Island Express, Lumines is a good one. And you'll probably agree with me with this one, Jesse. Lightfall, Octopath Traveler is a good one. Diablo 3, Puyo Tetris, The Gardens Between, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Sorry, I'm going past 10.
Yeah, you are way over. You're at like
Graceful-
16.
Graceful Explosion Machine. Last Master Zero. Lost Sphere. I think I Am Setsuna's on it. Bad North. Definitely Okami and Just Shapes and Beats. And check out Minute if you're up to it. That one is a really good one.
Ed's a rebel.
Yeah. Oh, and N++.
Yeah, N++ is really good. I almost added that to my list, but then I was like, no. If you want to play 2-player stuff, Smash has to be on there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'll just try to see if there's any.
So, Jesse, what are your top
think of-
27 games for Nintendo Switch?
I'll just try to come up with the ones that you guys haven't already said. Did you guys say Golf Story? Because
No.
Golf Story is such an amazing game.
Yeah.
If you like, just a fun, comical, like old school style RPG, but you like playing like golf type games and stuff. It's basically a mix of those two things. So like that one is like definitely a must get in my opinion. And then Adventure Pals is a really good just fun comical platformer type game. Like for me, like I like Tetris 99. But like I actually like Tricky Towers a little bit better. It's more of a it's Tetris, but like
It's like physics-based Tetris.
Yeah. Like it's a little bit more it's a little bit more difficult in other ways.
Before you go on, Jesse, Corey, what's the one that is the shapes and you cut into them?
Oh, Snipper Clips. Yeah, Snipper Clips. That's like the first game that should have been on the list.
I recommend you get that with your partner and crack the heck up.
Yeah, Snipper Clips. Snipper Clips. It's so good.
Yeah.
Actually, that should be the first thing you buy right now. You should just stop the show, go buy it, and then come back and watch.
Yeah. Oh, but go ahead, Jesse. I'm sorry.
Also, Rayman Legends is definitely a really good one to get. And then like SteamWorld Dig 2 is really good as well. Actually, like, and if I just played this because my son wanted to rent it, but the Gear Club Unlimited was actually not a bad racing game. Like, it was like a more basic version of Forza, but honestly, it really was not that bad of a game.
It got a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, and Gear Club 2 actually got really, really good reviews.
Yeah. It was a really good game. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm actually really enjoying Velocity 2X.
Yeah.
That game is really makes you like think, and you've got to use like all different like sensors at the same time, and it can get kind of frustrating at times, but it like
it's like
I don't know, it's really cool. Like it challenges you in ways that most games don't. Like you really got to be paying attention to every little thing on the screen, and you're having to hold and release buttons at certain times, and like it's definitely like I don't think Corey would enjoy it as much. I think it would be more like the way he felt with Portal. I just don't think like it's kind of similar in that way where you're having to move and push a button at just the right time, and then quick move somewhere else and have to push a button to make your way through things, because you can kind of move at a slower pace in this game, but it's trying to get you to speed run the levels, because it tells you your time of how fast you finished it at the end, and then you get, I think, stars or something depending on how quickly you've done it and things like that. So it's definitely for people who are into speed running type stuff. But those would be my games that I would suggest.
Kyle, I'll advise you check out not Pod and Play, Nitty Showcase that me and Corey do. Season 1 and Season 2 is available, and if those indie games interest you, check them out. I think you'll enjoy some with your partner and everything.
Yeah.
But yes, Snipper Clips do get that.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna go on to this next question here. Quentin Vaughn asks, if you had to change one thing about the Switch, what would it be and why? For me, it would be that the Pro Controller's D-pad would be bigger and add a headphone jack so I could listen to it without unplugging the Switch from the dock. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints about the Switch, but that Pro Controller with no headphone jack in the bottom of it is one kind of major complaint. So,
I think I would change the battery life. I think it needs to be a little bit longer. Because you really want to, when you really want a game on the go, and you not in a place where you could put a phone jack, put an AC adapter in or anything, it kind of ruins your flow, and you might be at a good spot but can't save. So I think I would change the battery. Just try to reach an 8 to 10 hour mark with the battery. Even if it costs the system a little bit extra, I'll pay extra to have that more battery life.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I think for me it's mostly I think it would be more maybe having like allowing Bluetooth and stuff as well, but like for me, if I like something that they could easily change for me would be just like let's be able to like change our backgrounds and all those things already. Like honestly, I feel like it shouldn't have taken that to still be this long, and we still can't even have a background or do any kind of personalization as far as that kind of stuff goes yet. Something either like that or maybe changing up the store maybe a little bit, but I think just for me, it's easy things that they could have changed a long time ago.
Yeah, I would love a different color background or custom made. It would be cool to have like Splatoon or
Fire just Emblem. Even let me put my snapshots of games that I take as a background.
I think that would be cool.
And give us more reasons to want to use the snapshot feature.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get to this last question here, and then we're going to get out of here to record another podcast. So, yeah. Greg Schnabel writes in and says, since we all know Switch is already working on the successor to the Switch, what would you like to see from them next? I don't really want a successor. I want a new and improved Switch. I want the Switch to be what they work on forever. Or at least like a version of the Switch where it's a handheld console hybrid, because I think it's working. I think they've struck gold here with something, and a lot of people love Nintendo handhelds, and it seems like the general public is always like a wait and see on the consoles, but their handhelds sell tons and tons and tons of units, and I think the Switch is just doing everything right now, and man, it would be really hard for me to see them go back to a set-top box.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the thing is when they switched from the Wii to the Wii U, some people kind of got disappointed because they felt like it was just like an updated version of the Wii. The Wii was just an updated version of the GameCube. It felt like too. Yeah. So I think because the Switch is working on so many different levels, that it's doing the things that people have wanted for a long time, they'd be able to get away with just basically the only thing they would have to change is, as time goes by, make a more powerful handheld, that can play more powerful, games or bigger games or whatever. The only other thing that I could think of that they could make better is obviously the the cards and stuff, and they're already kind of in the process of making bigger cards that can fit, but bigger games on it already.
Yeah, because I think this year the 64 gig card's supposed to be out this year.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is like those bigger cards cost the developers more money, and that's why you see games like Wolfenstein and Doom have download patches to them instead of the whole game being on the cart, because it's. But
what's dumb though is they still a lot of games still cost more to buy it physical for Switch than either buying it on digitally or whatever, and they say that it's because of the card, and it's well, but then if it's
the Resident
that
Evil
much
stuff
more
we talked about last week.
If it's that much more to I don't know, it doesn't seem, I don't know, it's weird, it's just weird that they can't it's just weird that they can't figure out that. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird to me, because at this point, micro SDs and all that stuff, you can get a 60 gig one for $70 or $7 or whatever. You can get it for super cheap, and it's I feel to be putting that kind of memory on it, that's still kind of at this point in time, it feels like it's not that not a lot compared to micro SDs, when you can do almost a terabyte or whatever at this point.
Yeah.
I think for their next system, I think they're still going to try to find innovative ways to allow people to play. So I think they might include the Xbox adapter. But I think I would love to see Nintendo get into 2K. It don't have to be 4K. I think 2K would be good enough for them to be able to bring out a nice quality of
what is 2K? Games.
It's 2K is it's a little bit lower than 4K. There's some people who say that some movies are in 4K and stuff, but it's not actually, the resolution is a little bit less, so it's not all fully 1080p. It just looks something a little bit better that's close to not close to 4K, but something a little bit better that's not 1080p. So it's kind of a mild jump in a way, because there's just some old horror movies that's been remastered, and they say that's in 4K, but it's not actually 4K. So with a 2K, it's just it's close. It's really looking good, but it's not too fully crisp, where they're putting all those assets into 4K and spending a lot of money for it. So you could get something that looks good, like Horizon Zero Dawn on the go, in a big screen if you want to.
Well,
and it's still
go ahead. That's I think on PC, I know you can run a game that's built in 1080p. You can technically up-res it, so it's actually more than 1080p.
Yeah.
But
that's when you get that weird checkerboarding stuff, though.
Yeah.
When you're up-resing stuff.
But I mean, they could do it. They could do it
yeah.
They could try to figure out a way that they can actually do it native.
Yeah.
But,
plus, Nintendo assets are usually pretty scalable because they're simple.
Yeah.
It's not like you're scaling a realistic looking face or anything. You're scaling Mario's hat. Yeah.
And I think they still could get a custom made chip for it. So I mean, it'll still be something like a Switch, but I think it would just be something more. It'd be something more that you could do. So if, let's say, you go to McDonald's or something, you want a game, maybe you connect to them and a McDonald's menu comes up, and so you can order food off your Switch, and bam, you order your food, pay with your card, which is another thing I would actually touch. You know how your credit card is, if you touch it or something, on the it's like the chip thing. You could touch it and they'll pay for it. I think that would be something that Nintendo could look at for their next console. That, you know, so you don't have to always put in your number. It's just you touch it, it recognizes it, bam, you could go. Or you get an eShop card, you touch it, and bam, it goes.
Yeah.
So it'd just be more of like the key, like letting you know that you bought it technically.
Yeah.
Almost similar to what Xbox does with their discs, where you're only putting the disc in mostly just for the key to let it know that you own the game, but you're still technically kind of downloading it.
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah, and I mean that could work because the technology is there now where they could put a phone style hard drive into it that's, you know, that stores like hundreds of gigs of memory without really using up any more space than what they already have. You know, like, I mean, or, you know, just putting SD cards in, allowing people to put SD cards in and stuff like that. It's not really, you know, they could basically go the phone route of doing it because it's very, very little space being used up for memory and just, you know, technically switching over to digital. I mean, it wouldn't. You know, you still technically could buy it physically, but...
All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for episode 150. I want to thank everybody so much for watching and sticking with us for 150 episodes. Like I said, next week's episode is going to start our new format. Could be a long show, could be a short show, it just depends on what's happening. More conversational show, more talking about what we're playing and you know, some things that are going on, but not you know, in a structured format. So yeah, it might take us a episode or two to get into a groove of a format, but I think it'll be better in the long run. And, you know, like we said in our state of segments the last couple weeks, we kind of explained it there, but I think Power Block and Arsenal X are going to be better shows for that, just having better conversation. So I want to thank everybody so much for watching. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Nintendo_PBlock. You can email us your questions at NintendoPowerBlock@gmail.com, and you can follow us on or you can join our Facebook group, I should say, at facebook.com/group/NintendoPowerBlock, and you can find all of our content on ngrradio.com. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PhantomMegaDayX.
Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. You can also check out Optional Opinion, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and other podcast apps. My latest episode, Ask the Question, is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sega's Super Mario World. Check out that episode and see what I think.
It's probably 2 seconds long, and the word is no. Goodbye, everybody.
But yeah, and you guys also check me out on Arsenal X in Pod and Play. Season 4 is live. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
You can find me at CoreyNHD713 on Twitter, and you can follow me at CoreyNHD on Instagram and Twitch. You can also find me on various other content here on Nerds Gone Rogue. I think that's it. You can catch Nintendo Power Block every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. on your podcast service of choice. Like I said, within the next couple months, we're going to be moving podcast feeds. So I know Google has a hard time keeping track when people move RSS feeds, but it's so we can get this show. And we're going to start with this show and Platinum, Nerds Gone Platinum, to try to get them on Spotify as well. And then as we move forward, we'll get the other stuff moved over one by one. It's more of a financial thing than a than, you know, ease of doing it. So, anyways, yeah, I want to thank everybody so much for watching, and until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Woo-hoo, 150!